going to go through measurements and what measurements you need to do for when you do your body fat percentage. So I'm on day 1 now. I've had a month off because I've been really under the weather, and then I'm starting training later on this week, so I need to do my body fat percentage. I need to measure all certain parts of my body and I'm going to go through that in more detail in a second. So the first area I need to do is I need to do across my shoulders here, so can you do that for me?
Can you give it?
Yep, spin.
Yep, 123.
123?
Yeah.
Cool. It's a good thing about this because I can just watch the video back. 123. Okay, under the arms now. So chest next. Make sure you just get it right underneath where the nipple area is. Cool.
The third nipple.
Yeah.
114.
1-4. So the next part we're going to do is the right arm. So you're probably best getting the part where the tricep is, so where it sticks out of the back as well as the front. So you can do the measurement of the tricep. Try and relax it best I can.
35.
35. Cool. Next part is the stomach. So you're going to grab the tape measure, hold it onto where your belly button is, and then spin all the way around. Clip it in. Cool. And that is at 80, 90 dead. 90 dead on that one. Okay, next one is glutes. So bring that back in. Hold the tape measure on your waist. Now you want the fattest part of your glute, so where is it there? Yeah. Make sure it's around the right bit. Seems a little high that, but you know where. So you want the biggest part of your glute if you can. Is that on it now?
Yeah.
Cool. That's 98. Then you want the thigh, right thigh. So if you stay right hand side for all your measurements, including your body fat percentage, caliper check and leg, you want the fattest part of your leg as well. If you stay down the right hand side, it means when you come to measure every single time, you'll be always on the right hand side, so you always get the same measurement. If you swap alternative sides, you probably won't get the same readings. So that's 58. There we go. Cool. So the next area I would do as well is the calf. You always want to know if these are going or not. Yeah, mine's sat on 36 at the moment. These are like £3.50, or not, I think they're even £2 off Amazon. They're not the best in the world, but they are good to do your body fat percentage. The other way of doing it is a bioimpedal, where you stand on the scales. But I'm always on the bioimpedal, the bathroom scale ones, the body fat percentage always seems about 3 to 4% too high. So on these, it always seems to be a little bit too low by about 2%. So if you do the bathroom scales and these, and do an average in the middle, then it's usually pretty much spot on. So put it right to the side like that, and then you want to push them together so it clips in just a little bit. So the first part you do is a bicep. What you want to do is you want the middle of the shoulder to the middle of the elbow. So you can actually do this with your hands. So just find out where the middle is, and then just bring across and pinch like that. Good. What's that? I think that might push that a little bit too hard. Let's try again. Showing about 4. No, maybe not. Cool. 1. Happy with that. Good. Tricep now. So you want the middle of the top of the shoulder where you can find the bony bit there to the middle of your elbow, and then you just find the middle section. And pinch. That is 4. So the next area you want is the back, your back, so where your scapula is. So it's the V bit of your bone there, right at the very bottom. Can you do that for me, please? Brilliant. Cool, and that's sat on 14.5, so 14.5 on that one. Right, okay, the last one is the side of my belly. So what you need to do is you need to find where your hip bone is there, and then you need to come slightly up from it and across. So it's back a little bit like that. Good. And that is 28. So the next area that I'm going to talk about is your standard bioimpedal bathroom scales. I use these ones. I think they're pretty accurate, even though I've heard some sort of off-putting reviews on YouTube. But I've been using these for 2 years now. I buy a new set every year, so they recalibrate. So I've got a new calibrated set, new batteries in them all the time. They seem to work absolutely fine for me for showing body fat percentage. I actually did a test in the laboratory, picture off to the side, where I went inside a tank and they did my body fat percentage of water displacement. It's probably one of the most accurate ways you could do body fat percentage. I did a test on these straight out of the box afterwards, and I was only 0.5% out, so they're pretty good, really good actually. I always find that bioimpedal, these type of scales are always over on body fat percentage, so say between 0.5% and 4% depending on what make you've got. And then the calipers, the clamps, what we had before, they're usually just under. So if you do a caliper check, a bioimpedal check, and do an average, that's more or less where your body fat percentage is sat at if you went into a water displacement tank, what's really accurate. So how to use these then? First thing you do is you need to turn them on and they calibrate. Once they've calibrated, you need to put in your age, so I'm 38. Then once you've done that, you press the select button in the center, put in that I'm male, so it's got a little male and female sign, press select, and then after that I need to put in my height, what is 166 centimeters. Once I've done that, I go back to the start where it says weigh in. At this point I need to take my shoes and socks off. Hope you don't mind guys, I've got a mic here because I've seen to got a lot of background noise in the gym today, I can hear it. Take my shoes and socks off. From there I stand on it. I hold down nice and tight. And then it starts flashing my weight, and then it does my body fat percentage and visceral fat. Once it's done, at the moment, and I'm not proud of this whatsoever because I've just took a month off and I have on purpose made myself look like a normal person as humanly possible, not a personal trainer. I'm now 76 kilos. My body fat percentage is 27.8, was absolutely horrendous for me. It should be for my age around about 19 to 20. Then my visceral fat is 12, what's extremely high. And my muscle mass is 34.9, what's pretty bad as well. So it should be sat around about 40 for my height and weight. So for there, it's an extremely good starting block for you guys to see what actually happens to a normal person. That's what I put myself back down to. Putting on bulk over the winter and then stripping down for the summer. Once you've done your measurements, you've got this downloadable sheet. This is the Word version, and you get a PDF version on there if you don't have Word, so you can print it out and fill it out yourself. These aren't quite in order as the video, but they're more self-explanatory. So once you've done your weight, this is the bare minimum that I want, is the actual circumferences of your body, basically, all your different limbs, and a weight in kilograms or stones. And if you can do a height, that's the bare minimum. If you do get the calipers here, what you do is you get all your measurements, so you can see them there from the video. Once you've got your measurements, you need to go down to this little area here. Now, if you are struggling to do the caliper checks off the video, there is a little guide here to do it yourself, just to get a little bit more information there. And then if you're female, you go down to this section, but being male, I'm going to go down to this one here, so you can see it, body fat percentage, male. So my number, what you do is you calculate, you add all these together. So make this sum, so you add it all together, and then this tops out at 47.5. Then you scroll all the way down to this chart. And at this point, you need to find around about the same number, so 46 or 48, and then you go across here to where my age is, so I'm between 30 and 39, and then you can see here that this is my body fat percentage. Now here there is a vast difference. I can see a vast difference from my body fat percentage of being on the bioimpedal scales compared to doing the caliber check. Like I said, this one's always seems to be a little bit low and the other one seems to be a little bit high. So we've got around about 21% body fat there. So I'll type that in, 21% body fat into there, and then I know what I am. So the trick is you get your 21% body fat there, which is always a little bit low, and then you get your bioimpedal, your scales inside your bathroom there, and they're always a little bit high. Do a draw average in between. You're probably talking about around about 23-24% body fat if I went to jump in a pool tomorrow to get a water displacement one. And hopefully that's self-explanatory. Like I said before, there is going to be a link on the website or on YouTube at the bottom to download this sheet. Really, really self-explanatory. What you can do at the end is you can scroll down and you can see what your average body fat percentage should be for your age. So mine should be around about 19 and it's sat at 23. So to be a healthy weight, I could drop down to being 19% body fat. So I could drop about 4% body fat. Now this will happen when I'm doing my 5x5 sets and I'm trying to bulk. My fat will come down, my muscle mass will go up, and I will end up with that number. And probably, and fingers crossed, I'll be down to these lower and average numbers here for my age, So we're talking 13, 15, 17% body fat, around there when I strip down for my summer body. So next thing you need to do is you need to do a 360-degree turn, but film it. Do not take pictures because they just come completely out. Okay, I recommend doing some sort of movements with your stomach so you can actually see if there's any fat on there like mine at the moment. Okay, turn. Then legs. So they're looking. I'm just going to show a picture over to the side of my last stripping phase. Now, I'm not super happy with the way I looked then. I had some pretty nasty shoulder injuries around that point, so I couldn't build up my shoulders as big as what I wanted. And I didn't do my bulking phase as well as what I wanted as well. I just did standard 5x5s, and it didn't really work out as well as what I want. Now I've got a new set, what I'm doing this year, and I've already tried it for a few months, then I took a month off, and when we tried it, I'm going to show some before and after shots of Luke right now, well, an after shot actually, of him just doing it for just 2 months, so you can see the muscle mass he's put on straight away. So my goal is, as well as for you guys, is from now till Christmas it's going to be complete bulking, eating loads of food, and then from there we're going to go on to stripping down probably a couple of months after Christmas, and I'm going to show you a direct plan of what it looks like, and then by next summer, because it's a year plan, by next summer we'll all look fucking awesome and I can't wait. Mega.